Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion and the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Over there, you'll find a description of the day's astrology as I've spelled it out here. Here, I will discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then I'll play another card that, given the context of the day's astrology, may give us something more to think about. So let's get into it. The card that currently sits on the side of the page is the Seven of Cups, and it's here for a reason. It's here because it corresponds with the, in astrology, with the last 10 days or the third decan of the sun's transit here in the land of Scorpio. Scorpio is a water sign, and cups and tarot are water element symbolism, and water element symbolism is all about our emotions and our intuitions, okay? Those feelings that arise when we have experiences. And you know, there's some analysis to come with those feelings, right? There's what is the physical sensation of that emotion as it arises? What are the questions that come up? What is the certain sort of internal knowing that arises also when we feel things? So we come to the Seven of Cups, and this can be a matter of dreaming about what it is that we would like and love for our lives, dreaming about ways in which we can expand our lives, things that we think would give us joy, make us sort of happy in the short and long term. This can also be a card about wishful thinking. It can be a card that has us that shows us where we are sort of emotionally attached to certain options, although we don't really know what those options hold in store for us. So there's a little bit of danger of sort of causing ourselves illusions. I struggle with the word deluding ourselves, but that's kind of it. With ideas and fantasies about how good things could be if we weren't if we had better choices available to us. But also there's just a matter here of sort of, thinking about what our options are in terms of the things that we'd like to have for ourselves, and not really necessarily always knowing what's on the other side of the passage, right? So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards again real quick because I didn't do it already. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to go ahead and wish my dearest best friend since high school, Jill, a very happy birthday today. I'm sorry I can't be there with you, sis, but I really hope that you have a good celebration and some good company and, maybe a nice piece of cake. All right. And we got the Four of Cups. Okay, well, this is really indicative of the day's energies anyway. So the four, we have cups and cups. Cups are about water element symbolism. This is about our emotional life, the feelings that arise, the sensations and information that come with it. And I love this version of the Four of Cups because if you look closely at this person, they're wearing a sweatshirt that says, can you see it? Over it, right? So that sends a pretty strong message. This person is looking at these cups over here, and the cups represent sort of emotional experiences, perhaps things we got emotionally involved in. And this person looks pretty dissatisfied with the experiences they've had so far, right? So even the phone, I notice, is sitting on the ground here. Because this is the Modern Witch Tarot deck, so there are laptops and computers and phones in this one, and earbuds, stuff like that. Even the phone is laying on the ground. Like, I'm really just not interested in any of the emotional experiences that I have had so far. I'm pretty disappointed with how things have been for me right up to now, and I don't even necessarily know if I would be interested if I could see the offer for more emotional experiences, investment, connection with somebody else come in. I don't know if I could see that coming in. I don't know if I'd really even be interested in it. I'm feeling so over it today. And that's interesting to me because man, it was hard writing today's astrology because I'm like, oh, happy birthday, Jill, for my bestie out in California. But really the vibes on the page are very much over it. They're very much like sort of a low feeling, perhaps feeling restricted, not having what we want, maybe even having tried to get what we wanted and didn't get it anyway. You know, there might be some frustration coming up today. And, you know, that's Moon in opposition to Saturn very much can bring on just a somber, low, sort of depressed mood. And then, you know, they're in a T-square here with Uranus, which in this case really isn't helping things very much. If you just take it with this T-square, it's like, yeah, I've tried a few different things already. Uranus is like, let's try something different. And Four of Cups says, well, I feel like I've tried a few different things already, and I really am, I think I could use a break. I think that it's valid, honestly, if you've had some emotional experiences or even intuitive experiences lately that that left us feeling less than satisfied, that, you know, I think it's valid to sort of sit back and process that, to think about it, to think about our approach to being open to more emotional and intuitive experiences. I think it's fully valid to sit back and take a break and think, I don't necessarily know if I want to try anything new or different at this time. I think at this time I can just sort of sit back and reflect on what's going on in my heart. And, you know, Sun, Mercury, and Venus have been in Scorpio, so, you know, there's a lot of desire there. There's a lot of a desire for, honestly, for control over situations. And if we didn't get to engage in situations where we felt like, especially in emotional situations where we felt like, you know, we had a lot of control over what was happening, then, you know, that can leave us feeling rather over it, leave us feeling rather like, well, if I don't get to have agency in these experiences, then I don't really want to be open to them. So, you know, there's this patience and willpower and determination that has to come up, you know, so that we don't, it's a very emotional vibe. Okay, the moon is ruled by Cancer, and it's currently in Leo, so it's gonna be an emotional and fiery vibe even. So, you know, there can be this temptation to sort of take out our low mood, our feelings of depression, or our feelings of restriction on other people. And, you know, we really want to try to avoid doing that because it's not going to help anything at this time, okay? And then, you know, on the bright side, we have this other T-square, and you see how these are sort of crisscross applesauce, right? And they are connected to one another. So while that first one has Saturn, Uranus, and the moon, the second one has Saturn, Uranus, and the sun. Well, now it's Sun opposite to Uranus, where, you know, we might actually be experiencing a bit of an independent streak. Perhaps, you know, we don't feel like we want to indulge in this low mood. We don't feel like we want to indulge in this frustration. Sun and Leo, Sun rules Leo where the moon is right now. So, you know, this can be, you know, a positive time to engage that patience, that willpower, that determination, that persistence, in terms of like, I am determined and persistent, you know, and determined to make the best of my situation. I am persistent in having a positive attitude about this. And I'm, you know, and whatever opportunities are on offer for me for, you know, sort of connection and feeling the love today, you know, if I remain determined in my desire to make the best of it, then I can probably have that, okay? So, yeah, you may be feeling over it, and you may be feeling somewhat reflective and not really wanting to engage with the world. On the other hand, you know, and I think it's valid to sit in that time of reflection if that's the way you're feeling it. But it can also be a good day to, you know, just sort of put on the determination, you know, if you're up to it, to put on the determination to have a good time, to enjoy yourself, and to enjoy whatever connection is on offer there as well. And with that said, I'm going to put this together with the Seven of Cups. I do want to say that, in terms of our loving hearts, our ability to connect with other people right now, today Venus culminates this trine to Jupiter. This has been a vibe for a while, but now it's sort of a vibe perfected that comes up early this morning and will be with us for several days, where we can feel a little more relaxed and reflective and sort of sit back and appreciate our good fortune, right? And I say appreciate our good fortune, and I also see this person, they're sitting on the ground, but they're supported by a golden wall behind them. Okay, so there's always something of value there to lend us some support. And Jupiter is all about, expanding our sense of what of what is valuable to us, right? So that we can have bigger, better experiences for ourselves. So this is a good day to sort of engage that sense of determination, that sense of expansion and growth, and allow our loving hearts to feel the lift of this trine, this blessing with Jupiter, our planet for growth and positive expansion. Venus also goes into Sagittarius just after midnight tonight. So this obsessive, sort of very focused feeling that Venus has when it is in Scorpio, where we can become sort of voracious. We can, sort of want to devour as much of what we love as we can get our hands on, right? We can get a little lift out of that vibe as well. Or our attention sort of turns toward the outer life at this point, and we become a little less serious about just getting our hands on what we desire, and more drawn to having adventures, a little sort of more buoyant in the heart, more generous with our love and our resources, and just more sort of focused on our love for the world, our sense of connection to, not just what we have experienced, and not just our sense of connection for the sake of ourselves, but our sense of connection in the way that it impacts the broader scope of humanity. And, taken together with the Seven of Cups, it's almost as though this person looks away from these disappointing cups and looks toward this cup that's coming in, this offer that is approaching from the side. And instead of seeing one cup, it sees seven cups, because it's like, oh, what are my options? What beautiful thing might this be? Is this a lottery winning? Is this a lottery winning? Is this, is this, God smiling down on me for some reason? Is something just beautiful and exciting about to happen and change, my life, or at least my perspective on the day? What kind of glorious thing can I imagine happening that would lift my spirits? And it's okay to imagine things that, expand our sense of what we can be, do, and have. It's great to imagine things that can even just sort of lift our mood and lift our hearts up out of this sense of the sort of doldrums of dissatisfying emotional experiences, right? Rather than thinking about what has not satisfied, we have an opportunity here to think about what may satisfy in the present or in the future. We have an opportunity to sort of look on the bright side of the potential of these experiences to give us a bigger, better experience. I believe I think that's the message that's coming across. Now, with cups, there's always the element of illusion. There's always the element of sort of fooling ourselves about what comes with a certain experience that we think will be emotionally satisfying. It's always so much more than what we think it's going to be. Most good emotional experiences are so much more than what we think they're going to be. And, they'll be sort of happy but poignant, a little bit happy, but, happy and, okay? So, when you're thinking about, when you're dreaming up, or when you are opening up to, when you are being even determined to have some better emotional experience than the one that you have been having, or the one that you're having right now, when you open up to that determination, to enjoy the good things, the blessings that are in your life, just understand that, there's gonna be more to that experience than what it is that you're expecting. And I believe that's all I have to say about it today, friends. I truly appreciate your presence here. Thank you for being with me. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.